Hey everyone, welcome back to the Commander's Core Studio. I'm your host Mitch, and I did this completely out of order, but I'm not gonna restart because this is mini spoiler season apparently, and yeah, it's a quick take, so there's gonna be some mistakes. Have you ever, just a quick note, really quick, have you ever just, ran to your fridge and you had like no time to eat, so you just like picked whatever and just threw it together and just ate? That's basically what I just did. So yeah, it's been one of those days. Anyways, Slobad. No! Okay, yeah, Slobad is now Phyrexian as well. We've lost a Johnny, a Tatiova, probably other ones coming up. I'm probably forgetting one. Oh yeah, apparently Venzer is a Phyrexian. Some of the art got shown off for that. So yeah, all you Venzer fans out there. Anyways, it's not an episode about Venzer, it's about Slobad. Let's jump into the cards. So, Slobad, Iron Goblin. Yeah, Slobad is massive now, apparently. A 3/3 Phyrexian Goblin Artificer. That's a lot of text to fit on that line. Anyways, costing 2 and a red. Tap, sacrifice an artifact. Added amount of red equal to the sacrifice artifact's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Yeah, that's pretty spicy. A commander that, well, allows you to sacrifice your artifacts. And of course, we'll talk about some artifacts that you actually really want to sacrifice. Some artifacts can give you a ton of value for being sacrificed. And yeah, you're just getting the mana back, essentially, that you spent to actually get it out. Or even less. We'll talk about some ways to really take advantage of this. But essentially, turning your artifacts into mana. Now you can only utilize that mana for artifact spells or abilities of artifacts. But here's the thing. With a deck built around this commander, yeah, you're going to be running an absurd amount of artifacts. You're also, of course, going to have artifacts that probably have abilities that you can utilize as well. And yeah, you're going to have ways to utilize that mana. If you really wanted to use like a mana filter, you could as well. There are, eggs to consider for that, or, not the actual eggs, because those, have, color requirements, essentially. But yeah, there are cards that allow you to filter mana. If you really need to filter it, but yeah, you really shouldn't have to for the most part. You're going to be utilizing this mana in some pretty exciting and spicy ways. So yeah, a very interesting mono red commander that takes artifacts in a different direction, allowing you to, well, utilize your artifacts and just use them essentially as rituals, making an absurd amount of mana, getting well ahead of your opponents, and yeah, doing some pretty crazy things. So there's probably some combo potential with this commander as well. We'll talk about some kind of weird things here in a bit. But before we do that, let's take a look back to the good old days. Oh, we're back in, I think this was Darksteel? Yeah, Darksteel, I think that was. Well, I mean, this is the commander symbol, but still, anyways. Slobad, Goblin, Tinkerer, you used to be so tiny. Now you're Phyrexian and massive. Maybe they like combined you with this golden kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, old Slobad was about sacrificing artifacts as well, but to protect other artifacts. Target artifact gains indestructible on upturn. This Slobad's more so, hey, let's sacrifice artifacts and, cast even bigger artifacts, because why not? I mean, yeah, just think about it, turn, 3, you get it out, let's just say. Then, turn 4, you maybe have an artifact already in play that maybe costs 2 or whatnot. Yeah, just tap, sacrifice that, get an extra 2 mana potentially, get something even bigger out, maybe something costs 7, 6 or 7 or whatnot. And then the next turn, yeah, you sacrifice that massive thing for even more mana to cast something bigger. So yeah, this commander I think can get out of hand pretty quickly with the right build. Now let's talk about some budget buys that you might want to consider. Some cards that I'm going to be considering if I'm building around this commander. Cards that are $1. Sorry, I should say less than $1. And yeah, cards like Mirror Retriever, Scrap Troller, and Cathodian are some of the first ones that came to my mind. Mirror Retriever says, when it dies, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic death trigger, essentially, that you can really utilize with Slobad. Again, like I said, even if you're not ramping early, let's just say, you get this out on turn 2, turn 3, your commander up, turn 4. Now we have some pretty good, again, a ritual effect style ramp, essentially. If we've got another artifact in our graveyard, maybe we, Faithless Looting something, essentially, or sacrifice something early. Yeah, maybe wait for his bobble. Anyways, you can actually, sacrifice this for some mana, get that back, and, get some more value. Speaking of value, Scrap Trawler gives you value in any of your artifacts are sacrificed. Whenever in another artifact you control spell grave from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser mana value. Yeah, that is going to provide you a lot of value throughout the game. Essentially, any single time you sacrifice one of your artifacts, you're getting something slightly smaller back to your hand that you can, of course, utilize, that mana with your commander that you just got to pay for to get it back into play. Yeah, there's a lot of value synergies, and Scrap Trawler is going to be a very fantastic card in a deck like this. Cathodian, another great card in this deck that essentially just consider, this kind of a play. Again, let's just say turn 4, you're sacrificing Cathodian or whatnot. Cathodian dies, you add colors, so 3 mana in total. Yeah, with your commander, you're essentially getting 6 mana in total, right? You're getting, 3 red, 3 colorless, 6 mana for sacrificing this. That can be a very big play, helping you cast something absolutely massive very early on in the game. So yeah, again, the ritual, a commander can really pair with these ritual style creatures essentially as well. Next up, Prize Statue, a card that actually gives you value on the way in and on the way out. Enters the battlefield, spend a grave from the battlefield, get a treasure token. So yeah, sacrifice it, get some mana, get a treasure token, get yourself even further ahead. Ichor Wellspring, in a very similar way, enters the battlefield from the graveyard. You're going to be drawing a card. So yeah, dig deeper into your deck. Essentially, again, this is basically, 2 mana, which you're kind of like storing up for later, like a delayed ritual kind of. Draw 2 cards. So yeah, that's a lot of value for you. Solemn Simulacrum, Sad Robot. Oh no, Sad Robot. Yeah, we're going to be sacrificing you as well. Enters the battlefield, go get a base land to play tapped. When it dies, you draw a card. Cool. Let's, get it into play, get that land, ramp essentially, and then utilize it as a ritual and draw a card. So yeah, basically, again, replacing itself and ramping you. What's not to love? Moving on, Ruin Grinder. Also another way to draw, well, a lot of cards. I guess everyone can technically draw. Ruin Grinder, when it dies, each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. So yeah, this can be, just an emergency. Hey, I need to wheel. Let's keep it on the battlefield until we need that. Sure, let's, get rid of it. Utilize that 6 mana when we need to. Get a new hand. We're going to be getting some artifacts in there as well. Have fun. Coveted Jewel, a card that is very spicy and I absolutely love with this kind of a commander. 6 mana, enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. You can tap for 3 mana of any one color. The only problem is that if an opponent attacks you and gets through, essentially, they get control of it. They draw 3 cards, they untap it. So yeah, instead of allowing that to happen, let's just sacrifice it for, 6 mana, essentially. So this is kind of like, again, a quick little ritual. We get, mana out of it as well. We draw some cards, and yeah, what's not to love with that? Spine of Ishsa, enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. This one is very spicy because when it's put in a grave from the battlefield, return it back to its owner's hand. So sacrifice this, get 7 mana, get this back to your hand, cast it again, destroy target permanent. Sure, next turn, let's do it again. I'm sure we're going to have some ways to untap our commander. So essentially, every single time we can untap our commander, we can just keep doing this again and again and again. And yeah, I'm sure there's some infinite combinations in there as well with this one that you really could utilize. We're not going to go through those today, but we are going to go through another kind of interesting direction that you might be able to take this commander or something you might be able to play with. Liquid Metal Torque is a very fantastic mana rock, taps for colors, and it can make tap, target, non-land permanent, become an artifact in addition to other types until a turn. So, sure, you can turn your opponent's things into artifacts, and, well, with that, I mean, actually, you can turn your own things into artifacts as well and sacrifice them for value, but regardless, with that, hey, threaten effects can be very fun. Untap target creature, gain control until end of turn. The creature gains haste until end of turn. Yeah, just basically take an opponent's creature, turn it into an artifact, sacrifice it. If it wasn't an artifact, I guess, you wouldn't have to actually Liquid Metal Torque it, but you know what I mean. Threaten it, sacrifice it with your commander, get mana out of that, essentially, that you can utilize for more spells, and your opponent is down a creature. So, just a different kind of aspect that you can take this commander. You don't have to, do the normal build with your commander. You can, go off the wall if you really want to. Also, just some generically good kind of artifact synergies can really work well with this commander too as well, obviously. Draw Scorpion, whenever another artifact creature put a grave from play, untap target artifact. So, yeah, actually, this could probably be a combo piece with, your Spine of Ishsa, potentially, in a way. I'm sure there's some ways to do that. You could turn to a creature. You could turn your commander into an artifact. You could untap. Anyways, yeah, basically, hey, though, whenever you're sacrificing artifact creatures, just normally with this, with your commander, you were going to be able to untap, artifacts, most likely your mana rocks, to get extra value out of them. And of course, Foundry Expector, cards like this that reduce the cost of your artifact spells, make them easier to cast, make you, make your mana go further, especially the mana that you are getting with your commander. So yeah, some really exciting cards that you can utilize with a commander like this, and yeah, plenty of fantastic synergies And now, let's jump on to some of the pricier picks, though. Some of the cards that are outside of my budget, again, of, less than $1. So yeah, some of these are around $1. Some of these, might be well more than $1. Regardless, next up, we've got Ugin's Nexus, a fantastic card for a commander like this. If a player begin next turn, they skip it instead. So this kind of, shuts down any kind of extra turn synergies your opponents might have. And you say, you know what? When I really want to, I will tap, use my commander, sacrifice this for 5 mana, and also, hey, when this is put in the grave from the battlefield, instead it gets exiled and get extra turn. So this is basically, just an extra turn, kind of in a way for free for you, because you are getting that mana back that you can use, again, for more artifacts or artifact abilities. Speaking of artifact ability, Skull Clamp. Yep, you can use it for equip costs. Equip creature gets +1, -1 whenever equip creature dies, draw 2 cards. This, of course, is going to be a great thing to just keep getting on your artifact creatures that you're going to be sacrificing for value anyways to help you draw more cards and, yeah, just draw an absurd amount of cards throughout the game. A very, very good card in a deck like this. Nim Deathmantle, another good card in a deck like this that, of course, can probably be pretty broken as well. Whenever a non-token creature is put in your grave from the battlefield, you may pay 4 if you do return that card to the battlefield, attach Nim Deathmantle to it. Yeah, there are certain artifacts out there that you're going to want to utilize, some certain artifact creatures that you're going to want to sacrifice again and again and again. This can help you get them back again and again and again, so have fun with that. Speaking of fun, oh goodness, some really heavy hitters. Here we go. Wormcoil Engine, Triplicate Titan, and Phyrexian Triniform. All of these are really gross. Wormcoil Engine, very famous. Card Death Touch, Lifelink, 6/6. It basically splits in half when it dies. You get a 3/3 Death Touch, a 3/3 with Lifelink. Triplicate Titan, a slightly bigger version of that essentially. 9/9 Flying Vigilance, Trample, same thing, splits into 3, 1 with each of those. Phyrexian Triniform, goodness again, a 9/9 splits into 3, and it also has Encore, so you can get it back out again. But yeah, essentially, again, with your commander, you obviously can ramp pretty quickly, with those kind of, sacrifice ritual effects, in a way, get these massive things out, and then utilize them, sacrifice them for value, and utilize that mana to get even more big things out. So yeah, there's some really, really spicy plays that you can have with this kind of commander. Speaking of spicy plays, I mean, maybe you've used up all your artifacts. Maybe, you've sacrificed a lot of things. Well, let's just cast Scrap Mastery. Each player exiles artifact cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all artifacts they control and puts all cards they exiled this way onto the battlefield. Have fun getting out basically everything again, utilizing them again for value, again, getting all those ETBs, sacrificing them again, getting more LTBs. There's a lot of things that you can do with this commander. So yeah, this commander, I think, is a very interesting one. I like the direction that they took it. It's very sad that Slobad is now a Phyrexian. Yeah, I highly doubt this is the last of the old school characters that we're going to be seeing that have now been Phyrexianized, and new school ones as well. We're probably going to see some more. It's going to be sad, but yeah, we're all here for each other during this time, and yeah, Slobad Iron Golem. I think players are going to be excited about this commander, but yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this one. What kinds of cards would you consider for it? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned to this channel for more exciting quick takes and spoilers coming up, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.